Now I'm going to be teaching you 3 ways to regain a woman's interest without you begging. There's nothing quite like the sinking feeling when you notice a woman you love slipping away. Maybe she doesn't text you like she used to. Maybe her laughter around you has become forced. Maybe you can feel it, the warmth between you slowly cooling like a fire that hasn't been fed. Here is the thing, most men panic when this happens. They start chasing her, they are calling and texting non-stop, sending long emotional messages, trying to convince her to care again. But do you know what that actually does? It pushes her further away. You see, begging never rekindles attraction. You can't plead your way back into a woman's heart. If anything, begging makes her lose even more respect for you because it comes from fear, not strength. So today I'm going to show you 3 powerful ways to regain a woman's interest without ever lowering yourself to begging or chasing. These are the moves that make her stop in her tracks, take a second look at you and start to reinvest emotionally. And by the end of this video, you will not only know what to do, but you will understand why women lose interest in the first place and how to rebuild her attraction in a way that feels natural and lasting. But first, let me give you the cold hard truth. If she is lost interest, something about your energy has shifted, and the solution isn't to do more, it's to do the right things differently. Why women lose interest? First is before we dive into the 3 steps, you need to understand why this loss of interest actually happens. Women rarely lose interest suddenly. It's usually a slow, subtle decline that starts when she stops feeling challenged by you. You become too predictable or too available. She no longer feels the spark that she once felt because she shifted from the confident man she was drawn to someone who is now operating from fear of losing her. In the beginning, you probably gave her a feeling of excitement, discovery, mystery, but over time, if you start centering your world around her and neglecting your own growth, she feels the shift. It's like a song she used to love, but now is on repeat every day. Eventually, even the best song starts to feel boring. The good news, you can turn this around, but you must do it in a way that feels strong, confident, and natural. And that brings us to the first way to regain her interest without begging. So step number 1 is stop feeding the fire that is burning you. The very first step to getting her to notice you again is to stop the behaviors that are pushing her away. This sounds simple, but most men can't do it because when you feel her sleeping, your instincts scream at you to do the opposite. When she stops texting back quickly, you send more texts. When she pulls away, you lean in harder. When she becomes cold, you try to warm her with endless affection. But here's the truth. Attention has value. And when you flood her with attention, you devalue yourself in her eyes. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you're at a store and there's this luxury item you've been eyeing for weeks. You've saved up, planned for it, and finally decided to buy it. But right after you make the purchase, the store manager walks up and says, actually, you can just take it for free. Take as many as you want. No cost. Suddenly, that luxury item doesn't feel so special anymore, does it? It went from a treasure to a giveaway. This is what happens when you give unlimited attention and effort to a woman who is already pulling back. She stops valuing it because there is no scarcity. What you need to do instead, stop over texting, reply when you have something meaningful to say, not just to fill silence. Stop rearranging your whole life to fit around her schedule. Stop over explaining yourself or defending every little action. Pull back slightly, not to play games, but to, reset the dynamic. When you stop feeding the fire of desperation, you give her space to actually feel the distance. And when there is distance, she begins to notice your absence. Now remember this, attraction grows in space, not suffocation. 2, rebuild your frame. Become the man she first fell for. Once you've stopped chasing, the next step is to rebuild your frame. Here's what I mean by frame. Your frame is the energy, mindset and leadership you bring into the relationship. When she first met you, she probably had strong boundaries. Like, you probably have strong boundaries, a clear vision for your life, and a sense of mystery. But over time, many men slowly but abandon their frame. They start seeking constant validation from her. They stop pursuing their passions and instead revolve their world around her. They shift from being the adventurous man she admired to a man who is just trying to keep her happy. And that shift kills attraction. How to rebuild your frame? Reconnect with your mission. Women are deeply attracted to men who are driven. When your life has purpose beyond her, she feels safe and inspired. Ask yourself, what am I working toward? What am I building? Then actually start taking action on it. Second, level up physically and mentally. Go to the gym, read books, learn more new skills. Become a man who is always growing, because growth creates polarity. Thirdly, set boundaries with calm confidence. If she's being cold, don't lash out. Simply pull back and focus on you. If she disrespects you, calmly express what you will and won't tolerate. This reminds her that you are not afraid to walk away. Why this works? When you rebuild your frame, you trigger her memory of why she was attracted to you in the first place. She starts to feel that old spark again, not because you begged her to care, but because you reminded her who you truly are. It's like polishing a diamond. The shine was always there, it just got covered by dust. Number 3, create a new emotional experience with her. Now, this third step is the most powerful because it goes beyond just fixing things. It actually reignites her attention, her attraction in a completely new way. Here is the truth: a woman doesn't just lose interest because of what you stopped doing. She loses interest because the emotional experience between you has become stale. So if you want her to feel drawn to you again, you must create a new experience with her, one that makes her see you in a fresh light. How to do this? Just break the routine. If every interaction feels the same, she will feel stuck. Do something spontaneous and unexpected. Plan a surprise date that's totally different from your usual outings. Invite her into your world. Let her see a side of you she's never experienced before. Create moments that feel alive, even if they are small. Secondly, add emotional variety. Most men stick to one emotional tone. Either they are always serious or always playful. You need both. Make her laugh one moment, then have a deep, soulful conversation the next. This creates emotional depth, and depth is unforgettable. Thirdly, spark her curiosity again. Don't tell her everything about your plans, your feelings, or your thoughts. Leave some mystery. Let her wonder, what's he up to? What's he thinking? Curiosity pulls her back towards you. Why this works is when you create new emotional experiences, you shift her feelings, and women make decisions based on how they feel, not just what they think. She stops seeing you as the man who has been fading into the background and starts seeing you as someone exciting, dynamic, and deeply attractive again. Now, putting it all together, I want us to take a recap of all this. First, stop the behaviors that push her away. Do not chase, don't beg, don't flood her with attention. Create space for her to actually miss you. Secondly, rebuild your frame. Focus on your growth, your mission, and your boundaries. Show her through your actions that you're a man of value with or without her. Thirdly, create a new emotional experience with her. Surprise her, challenge her, and reignite her curiosity. Now I'm going to leave you with these final words. I want you to understand this. Regaining a woman's interest isn't about tricks or games. It's about becoming a man who naturally inspires her to lean back in. When you embody strength, purpose, and emotional depth, you don't just win her back. You create a dynamic where she never wants to drift away again. Most men will never figure this out. They will keep begging, chasing, and wondering why nothing works. But you know the truth. Attraction isn't something you convince her of, it's something you evoke in her by who you are. So stop trying to pull her back with words. Instead, become the kind of man she feels compelled to move toward. Because when you do that, she won't just regain interest, she will see you with new eyes, and this time she won't want to look away. Now, if you found this valuable, let me know in the comments which of these 3 steps you're going to start applying today, and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not done so, and for those who have subscribed, I want to say a very big thank you, and do well to share this video. See you next time.